What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Country Boy Gas Garage. In this video, we're going to pick up right where we left off in the last video, right where I broke the bolt off in the motor. So in this video, we're going to try to get that broken bolt removed. So let's go. Well, here we are, guys, back working on the bus again. You know, about a month ago, we put this in a classic car cruise and we had a blast. Everything was going good until the water pump failed. And in the last video, we were forced to rebuild that water pump. Was unable to find rebuilt or new ones, but I did get the rebuild kit from Dennis Carpenter. It was a Borg Warner new old stock. And with the help of the Hooligans Car Club and Jonathan Wade at his shop, we rebuilt the water pump. But as you saw in the last video, I was installing that pump and I broke a bolt off in the motor. Now that's my bad. I was trying to reuse old hardware and I should have known better. It's not even the first time this has happened to me on this bus. But I went and bought all new hardware, and in this video we're going to attempt to remove that broken bolt so we can get that water pump back on. You know, we've only got a few days to get this bus ready for the Emerald City Shakedown. So the pressure's on. Now for me to remove that broken bolt, we're gonna have to tear into the motor a bit. It requires the whole front timing cover and all the accessories to come off. We even have to lift the motor a bit and remove the front motor mounts. So, well, let's get in there and take a closer look. All right, let me show you what we're dealing with here. You know, here's the bolt that I broke. It should come out fairly easy because it wasn't a seized bolt that I broke trying to remove. It was just a bolt that failed tightening it. So hopefully that should come out fairly easy, but we got to get to it first of all, which requires that we remove this whole timing cover, which is pretty much the whole front of the motor. I've already started by removing the alternator and brackets. We still have to remove the fuel pump, and then we're also going to have to remove the harmonic bouncer and then this whole front motor mount. So I'm going to have to get a jack and some blocks up under this motor and lift it a bit and remove all this. I do have new motor mounts, so this will give us the opportunity to put those in. But I did remove a few of these bolts already because, well, I wanted to take them into the hardware store and get new ones, and I had to size them all and everything. So still got a few more to remove, but we're gonna have to get this fuel pump off and the harmonic bouncer and get this motor lifted, and we'll get that off. Hopefully not breaking any more bolts in the process. You know, I've never gotten this far into a Y block, and there wasn't a whole lot of videos on it, so we'll just have to figure it out as we go. You know, I did buy a whole new gasket kit, which, you know, comes with new gasket for the water pump and the timing cover. It also comes with a new front seal. So we'll be able to put all new gaskets, all new hardware, new motor mounts. And then we'll put the rebuilt water pump back on here, and this all should be good to go after we're done, hopefully, fingers crossed. So let's get started. Alright, well, I already got the fuel pump off. Now let's take the harmonic balancer off, which I've had off before, so should come off fairly easy. Just like so. Now you can see a lot of these bolts are already removed. You know, there's alternator brackets, and now I did remove a couple of these other ones that were different sizes and took them all to the hardware store to get new ones and make sure I got the right size. But you know, now we're down to the last few. That one already removed. So we got a couple here, and then a couple others, and this should all come off, but I'm gonna have to lift the motor up and get this front plate and motor mount setup out of the way, and then we'll get this timing cover off. All right, down here underneath, and I got the motor supported with the jack here. I lifted up just a little bit, and then I could work on getting these old motor mounts out of here. Now, I did get replacements, and we'll be able to replace those. All right, so let's get this motor up, and we'll get that front plate and motor mounts out of there. Let's try to get these motor mounts loosened. All right, one side. Alright, I used a wire wheel to clean up these threads a little bit. It's pretty rusty, and doused it with some PB Blaster, and let's keep working at it. Oh man. Such a tight spot, I can't really get a big breaker bar on there to break it loose. Alright, we'll try it like this. I got a wrench on the top side, and we'll do a big breaker bar and socket on the bottom side. And see if we can't find a way to do this. Slipping off up there. I gotta find a better way to get this on here. Is this slipping? Looks like the top nut is getting stripped out. Well, so this motor mount bolt is double nutted, and that top nut is mangled and stripped. I could try doing vice grips on that top one, or I could just try grabbing this bottom one and getting them both off. Let me try that. Well, I felt like something was moving. I don't know what's given, but something's given. Hopefully it's coming off. Maybe that was just stripping out on the bottom as well. I don't know. These are not looking very promising. Vice grips are working here. One thing, it's another. Alright guys, that bolt's fighting too much. I'm just going to get the cutoff wheel and cut it in half. We'll run to the hardware store and buy a new one. Alright, let's go. Alright, cut it off clean right there. I'll just pick another one up from the hardware store. But now we could get working on taking that front motor mount plate thing off. Let's do it. Well, I got the motor mounts out, bouncer off, and a couple of those motor mount plate bolts off of there already. Actually, there's only two more left, and I mean, I've been kind of going slow, hoping nothing breaks, but yeah. Just like that. Everything's been coming off really easy. It's not even torqued on. So we shouldn't have any trouble breaking bolts, getting this thing apart. I guess it's just torquing them back on, but we got all new hardware, new bolts. That one's a little tight. Oh, I don't like the feeling of that. Oh no. Let's see, this one the rest all came off really easy. This one, I could already feel, doesn't feel right. But, oh no, that feels like it's gonna break. I feel like I jinxed myself by saying something right there on the last bolt. Man. Well, let's just go for it and see what happens. Yeah, it feels like it's getting tighter. Well, come on now. Seems like it might be coming out. Alright, well, seems like it's coming. Alright. Get this out of here, and that leaves, what, one last bolt. Then we got to take some bolts off the bottom around the front of the oil pan as well. But not sure how many yet. We'll get this out, and then we'll move down there and see what we're looking at there. All right. I'm put up a little bit of fight, but it came out of there. All right. Now let's get this last bolt off right here. Here it comes. Oh, well, apparently that one goes through the water port. So let me get the bucket ready and catch that. Alright, I think I got all the bolts removed. Let's start trying to get this timing cover off. Try to find some spots I can maybe pry on a little bit here. was the last time this thing was off. Not really a good spot to pry on it anywhere. A little bit right here, behind the water or the fuel pump. There it goes. Not much I can do there. Let me grab my bucket. Got her. Alright, we got the timing chain cover off without too much issue, and you can see how the front half or front portion of the oil pan is cupped up underneath that cover. So in the kit it gives you this front portion of the oil pan gasket to replace, and then this gasket of course, and a new seal. And but you know what, guys, look at this. Right here is the bolt that broke off, and I was looking at it trying to think of how I could get it off there, thinking maybe so much of it is exposed I could just run 2 nuts on here, like double nut it like a stud and back it out. And I grabbed onto it, and look at this. It's just finger tight. I'm just pulling it out by hand. There it is. There's the broken bolt. That easy. I can't believe that it broke that easy. Like I was saying, I didn't even torque on it. I was just tightening it by hand with the wrench, and it broke. Alright, well, now I'm just going to clean up these mating surfaces and prepare the gaskets to be put back in here. I'll clean up the timing chain cover as well. Show it to you here. You know, everything looks good inside. I'm just going to try to knock out the seal and put a new seal in and clean up these mating surfaces. And like I was saying, I'll clean up all this stuff a bit. And once we get the gaskets ready, we'll just reinstall all this. It should go pretty smooth. I got all new hardware, so shouldn't be any troubles. I'm just going to have to run to the parts store to get a new motor mount bolt that I had to cut over on that side. But then after that, we're golden. Let's go. Alright guys, well, it's the next day. I was out here last night cleaning this timing cover up, getting all the mating surfaces cleaned up, ready for gaskets. I also went to the hardware store and picked up some bolts, you know, for the motor mounts. I got new motor mounts here. I'm reusing one motor mount that I didn't have to cut. I've got 2 new ones on the way, but they won't be here till next week. And for the one that I did have to cut, I went and bought some grade 8 hardware. It shouldn't be no problem to run that for this weekend, and then next week when the new bolt show, I'll just swap them out. Yeah, I'm so amazed that that bolt was broken off, but yet so loose. I was kind of looking at it, and you could kind of see where the bolt was stretched. And so it probably had previously been over tightened, and was just that close to breaking. And then with me pulling it out and putting it back in, maybe they got cross-threaded just a little bit. I could kind of see the threads were a little gollied up a little bit. But yeah, for it just to be finger tight, it's crazy. But regardless, it's out and we're ready to start reassembling things. Let me show you that bolt a little bit. I'll kind of show you what I'm talking about. Okay. Well, here I just kind of fit it back together, and you can kind of see where it's stretched and thinned out right there, where it broke. And some of the threads are messed up right there. I don't know if I'm getting this right. Yeah, it's not really focusing, but yeah. So yeah, it looks like it started to cross thread. It was already stretched, and then it broke. And then this part was just hanging out there, finger tight. Crazy. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get the gaskets and start reassembling this. Alright, I got that front bracket on with the new motor mounts. And, well, next we'll go ahead and put the balancer on and then the water pump, and we'll just keep going from there. All right, I got just about everything bolted back up in here. You know, we got all the pulleys and the alternator, fuel pump, that exhaust crossover pipe, We just have to put in a new fuel filter up here. What else? Put the radiator back in and connect the radiator hoses, make a connection to the fan, and top it off with coolant, and we could fire it up and give it a test run. All right, I got everything reinstalled and put some more coolant in it. Now I'm going to start it up and see if we have any leaks or any issues. Well, I still have an exhaust leak, but everything else seems to be working good. Yeah, no leaks. Well, other than the exhaust leak, hopefully I could tighten up that bolt and fix that. I think we're good to go. All right, guys. Now I'm super bummed about that exhaust leak, but we're out of time. We're just gonna have to roll with it. You know, in 2 days is the Emerald City Shakedown car show, and I work between now and then. I don't have no more time to work on it. And I did replace that exhaust gasket that was in the crossover tube, and it didn't really help. It sounds like it's coming more from the exhaust manifold, and I've got new manifold gaskets, but well, you know how exhaust manifold bolts go. I'm not ready to tear into those exhaust manifolds yet. We're probably going to break bolts and have trouble. And like I was saying, that show's in 2 days, so we're going to have to save that. And I'll have to deal with the exhaust leak. We're just driving to the show and then driving home, so it should be fine. But other than that, everything seemed to work out. Super stoked that the water pump is working and the cooling system is working and everything. So like I was saying, the Emerald City Shakedown is in 2 days on Saturday, July 22nd. If you're in the Northwest, you better be there. Big shout out and thanks to the Hooligans Car Club for putting this on and putting in all the work. Thanks, guys. And don't forget, we got some new merch designs, and we got hats on the way. So go check out www.countryboygasgarage.com and pick up some merch. Big thanks to Chaz over at Puglisi Speed Shop for picking up his shirt and giving a shout out in his video. Please, guys, go over to Puglisi Speed Shop and give him a subscribe. Thank you. And like always, a huge shout out to all my members. You know, I couldn't do without you guys, so thank you. If you're not a member of the channel, please consider doing so. It's what helps us keep these classics on the road. Well, like the last two videos have played out, you know, it's not always fun, but it's got to be done. Now make sure you subscribe to the channel. You hit the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. You like, comment, share with your friends. Until next time, peace.